It's Soccer City. John Hayes, Danny Brams, we're here with you on a Monday evening, and it is Charlotte Derby week, Danny. 48 hours from right now. The Charlotte Independents, who you are repping tonight, as well as the Crown repping, are playing in a meaningful match this week in the Queen City in the U.S. Open Cup. What a monumental week on the show. It's just five years in the making.
Johnny, welcome to Monday Night Live on Soccer City. Great to see you. And it is Derby week. It is the Charlotte Derby finally. We talked about it. We gushed and went on about it our last episode about how excited we are for this match that has been sort of foundational in our imaginations since the very start of this show. Shout out to Kiefer K-Dog, who's noticing the same thing you noticed, Johnny, right off the bat here. Thanks to all of those who are watching us live on YouTube and commenting along. We plan to feature your comments throughout the evening. And I am repping both the Independents and the Crown Charlotte FC hat, Jack's jersey. I think this is the 2022 strip, if I'm not mistaken, for the Jacks. So I go way back, Johnny. I was never a season ticket holder, but I went to a lot of Independence matches out in Matthews in 2015, 2016, 2017, back in the days when there was no Charlotte FC, when MLS soccer was just a gleam in our eye, and I really never thought it would happen. And
Charlotte FC was a glimmer in David Tepper's eye.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember, Johnny, a tweet that you tweeted back in the day, back in the long ago days of social media, back when social media mattered, Johnny, and a little tweet could get a little run and spark a conversation and maybe even spark a movement. I remember you tweeting, Charlotte is a soccer city and could support a Major League Soccer team. And this was like in 2018, 2019. And just a few years later became a reality. And now we got the Charlotte Derby ahead of us. It's a special night. It's not a great night from Charlotte FC perspective in terms of we're coming off of a loss that I think you and I both have some different perspective on. Looking forward to that debate on tonight's show.
We're talking about that game right now.
We got some news too. We got the Will Zaha news that could jump in there, and we have a very special guest when it comes to the Derby. I just want to set up those three things and turn it back over to you. My bad. Sorry. And I'm drinking bourbon also, by the way, yet again. The Woodford Reserve bottle is almost gone, but it keeps on giving. So
I thought about pouring myself a glass, but I sat down and we were ready to go, and I didn't have time to go pour myself one. I will after the show for sure. What's up to the Tifos, our tremendous friends of the show in the chat, popping in. Make sure you drop some comments. I'm really excited for our special guest. And you talked about two different perspectives. Mm-hmm. We're talking about a loss at home. Rarely happens. This team is very good at the Fortress, and the Crown loses to Nashville Saturday night. You were there, Danny. You saw this game up close and personal, so I'm really, really excited to hear your thoughts about and your analysis about the match. So you tell me where you want to start, because I know you have a bunch of video prepared, and I'm interested to see it.
I want to start, and again, we're counting down the clock here. We're clock watching till our special guest joins us, so we may interrupt at this conversation at some point and get straight to that and come back to it. But let's start with Johnny. I gotta say, you said you're dying to hear. What'd you say? You're dying to hear my reaction. You're dying to hear what I think about this. Is that true? Is that true? Are you dying or are you lying, Johnny? Because you have told me that you didn't care about this match at all. You said this match was meaningless and that it doesn't even matter. And so I want to start with the question. Charlotte FC loses to Nashville. Does it even matter? And I'm going to send it right back to you, Johnny, because I think it matters a lot, and you're trying to make the case that it doesn't.
A really nice backhand return there off what I thought was a really great serve. And here I am. Does it matter? No. And because the U.S. Open Cup match is this Wednesday, it's the week that I've been waiting for personally. Mm-hmm. So. It's April. It's a dropped 3 points, and I would just underscore it by saying that Wilfried Zaha wasn't on the pitch.
Yeah,
and because of that,
and you were consistent with that. You said that from the moment the Zaha got the yellow versus Philly, you were like, okay, I don't care about the Nashville game anymore. So I get at least you had a reason. I don't agree with your reason, but at least you had a reason.
Yeah, it's not that I didn't care. It's just that all of a sudden I just don't take the result as seriously as I would have if Charlotte has Zaha in the squad. But that being said, it might have been some foreshadowing this match on Saturday against Nashville about what this club could look like without Zaha in the future.
Right. And again, yet another masterfully weaved in tease to some later content as we look forward to spending the better part of this Monday evening here with the Tifos and the soccer citizens. The reason it matters to me, John, and the reason I think it's so important is because this was a rotated Nashville side. Nashville is a team that comes into this MLS season with 3 super duper stars, to borrow a term from the Boston sports guy Bill Simmons. 3 super duper stars when you talk about Hani Mukhtar, Sam Surridge, and Christian Espinoza, the ill-gotten gains of Christian Espinoza. And they come in, we're going to look at the table. I just pop up the table graphic now. This is after the results, but where Nashville getting 3 points against us vaulted to the top. But you see, this is a team that we should have had 3 points against this rotated side. I think they come in here with, now I've got the starting 11s popped up. And you see, when you look at this, when I show these graphics at week to week, I'm usually showing only our team, the Charlotte FC side. I put both sides on this one because I want you to look at these guys. And this is not Hani Mukhtar. This is not Sam Surridge. This is not Christian Espinoza. No disrespect to the guys that were out there, but a lot of these guys are not starters. And so you look at a chance to pick up 3 quote-unquote free points, 3 free, against the now Eastern Division leaders, a team that you're going to be competing against for the starters supporter shield at the end of the year. Like, of course it matters. And if you blew it and you missed your chance to get 3 at home, a team you should have jumped all over and pounced all over. And Dean Smith admitted it. We can talk about that later. Dean Smith admitted that the tactics were all wrong. And anyone could see it was so disgusting to me. You talked about being up close and personal. I had really good seats to a match that really just made me angry from a soccer fan perspective because I'm watching my team go up against a bunch of guys that rarely see the pitch, and the newbies, the Nashville bench scrubs, looked like the guys that really wanted it instead of the Charlotte guys at home who brag about this great home field advantage we have and we can't help but play our best, and the crowd really fires us up. And I don't think it was the strongest crowd we've ever seen at the Fortress, but I do think the players really turned in a piss poor performance. It was horrible, and it mattered a lot. Well, and at the end of the year, when we're looking at the standings and thinking, man, I wish we had that 3 points gained on Nashville when we had them at home against a rotated side. And then our subs come in and play better. The last 30 minutes, Nashville subs their guys in. They sub in Mukhtar, Surridge, Espinoza, and then Dean makes his changes. And we look better with our backups against their starters than our starters looked against their backups. Make sense?
It does. And the only thing that I can offer you in this situation is just like,
please, I'll take whatever you got.
It's like a full cleanse. It's like we're gonna put you on a juice cleanse. Like, we're really gonna get you going. That we're gonna flush this from your system with something else. That's what the midweeks are for, Danny. These midweek matches are to, pick yourself up after after you have a poor match. So, like, your cleanse is coming. You don't have to sit around all week. You don't have to sit around for a month. And because of that, I think you're going to be cleansed very quickly. So I'm trying to give you time. You said you wanted to do the show yesterday. I said, Danny, I need you to have a little bit more time. I want you to digest this. And here we are on Monday night, and we're ready to turn the page. And our friend Matt Geslin chimes in. He says the thing that it doesn't matter in April. It's like April's. Here's the thing, and it's the beauty about soccer or football, how you want to say it, Danny, is that in order to win the supporters' shield, it does matter.
Yeah, exactly. I have to push back against this. You talk about the backhand return to the ball you served me earlier at the start of this conversation. This is just going to be an overhead smash all over Geslin's point here. And I love Geslin. And Geslin is going to be on this show again sometimes. I've invited him a couple times to come in and join us, and he hasn't been able. At some point, he will be able to speak for himself on these airwaves. For now, he's just a commenter. And I got to say, your comment sucks on this one, Geslin, because every match matters. And to say that, like, only games don't matter when they're in April, but they do when they're in September. I mean, yes, the stakes become clearer for matches in September, But you have to be a great team. You have to be that team that knows that the stakes are just as high in April as they are in September. Anyway, Johnny, we have our special guest is here, and we're going to talk more about this match. We're going to show the highlights. We're going to get to more takes and all of that. But right now, we're celebrating the Charlotte Derby.
Yeah, this is a respite from what we were just dealing with there.
This is that sort of cleanse that you just mentioned, and I can't wait for this cleanse, and I got to dive back into the highlights later. But for now, there's only one highlight that I really want to see and really want to play, because once you see this, you're going to know exactly who the special guest of the night is.
All eyes on the official. Obertan stands it up, flicks towards goal. Sis Mazzola, it's scraped across goal. It is. The captain in the 95th minute wins it for the hosts.
John, I'm taking you back to 2023 and Clay Dimick, Charlotte Independence captain. Welcome to Soccer City, Clay. Welcome back to Soccer City. You may not even realize this, but you are such a part of the DNA of the show. One of the very first guests we ever had, if not the very first. John can correct me on that. And that highlight we just showed, that 95th minute winner against Greenville in 2023, we were in the press box. We were doing a live broadcast from the press box at American Legion Memorial Stadium, just talking about soccer in the city and the status of all the clubs, and kind of witnessing a 0-0 match. And then you score a winner live as we were wrapping up the show. Now you're here to talk about the first ever Charlotte Derby. We can't be happier to welcome Clay Dimick to Soccer City. Welcome, Clay.
Oh, thank you, guys. I'm super happy to be here. I still remember you guys telling me when I came on the podcast the first time that you guys were there at the stadium. So, it made it even more special that y'all were there recording and could see it live. But thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here, and obviously excited about Wednesday.
We're thrilled about Wednesday. It's great to see, and it's the shirt off that really makes it. It's the shirt off and the celebration. It's a huge winner late, and we'll always remember that moment. And that's why we wanted to have you on the show tonight. It's just kind of put into perspective, what this match means this week, what the U.S. Open Cup means, and how this match is it's always been a clock that's ticking to a match day. It's finally here. What's that feel like?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've kind of been talking about it around our facility and that training, like for the guys, especially Mike and I and our owner and the front office and all this. People have been around a while. Like when Charlotte FC got announced, we've been waiting for this day forever, and for us to go through what we've gone through in the past 8-9 years to get here and have this opportunity, it's something that we don't take for granted. We're really excited. It's such a cool moment for the city, for both clubs, and like I said, for people who have been in the city for a long time or have been with the Independence or Charlotte FC for a long time. It's just a lot of strings tied together and a special moment ahead for sure.
Well, I need to follow up with one thing, which is it's the first time that the two clubs are playing in a match that's meaningful.
Yeah.
But y'all have had friendlies before. Have you played in those friendlies?
Yeah, for sure. So we've had we played them in preseason this year, and then we've played them in a regular, like during the season, a friendly behind closed doors as well. And I think we've played them so probably 2 or 3 preseasons now, and then one when they got knocked out of Leagues Cup 2 years ago, I think it was, and we were coming back from Fresno. So it must have been 2 years ago. We were coming back from Fuego, and we played in the closed door match. So yeah, we've played each other a few times, and we all know each other pretty well at this point.
Yeah.
Now, can you reveal what's going on behind closed doors? I mean, I don't want to pry too much, but I start hearing about closed doors. I want to know what's behind them.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, we try to make every match we play in competitive, and obviously our goal is to win it. But yeah, I don't know if I can tell the results, but I'll say they were competitive. And like I said, it's always fun, and you get to go to their facility, and they have obviously state-of-the-art facility and stuff, and the grass is really nice. So we never complain going there.
We know that you're good friends with Brant Bronico. You guys have played together. Mm-hmm. This is a great opportunity for y'all. I think that Brant's gonna get the start in this match. So what's your take on going up against a really good friend in a U.S. Open Cup knockout match?
Yeah, for sure. I think I hope he gets a start, and I think he might as well. Yeah, we saw each other Sunday at church, and before that, he texted me as soon as the draw came out. We were flying to New York, and I think they had just finished training, and he's like, "Dude, no way!" And I was like, "Bro, this is the perfect jersey swap." So we already have that. We have that set, the jersey swap set, and yeah, I mean, this is gonna be a special moment. Like my wife and his wife are really good friends, our kids are good friends, and so it's a special moment. Like I said, there's so many things that intertwine between these teams, and that's definitely something that Brant and I are looking forward to as a special moment.
Yeah, that's good intel because I actually have I know someone. We have a Charlotte FC fan Discord chat that has a fairly active group, and there's a guy who calls himself Bronico's #1 fan who's like desperate to get Bronny's jersey, and he's like, well, maybe in the Open Cup match it'll be a little less formal. I can get the jersey from him, in Matthews, and it's like, well, nope, sorry, it looks like that jersey's already been promised to Clay Dimick. So sorry about that one to our friend Jacob in the chat, but hopefully you can get it at a future date. Clay, I want to talk so much. There's so much hype about this, and Charlotte is a soccer city, is something we love to say on this show. Give us a little bit of your thoughts, please, about soccer culture. And you have been a captain here now for 5 going on 6 years, if I'm not mistaken. You can correct me if I'm wrong on the total there, but you're a soccer leader in this city and we think this is one of the better soccer cultures in America. How have you experienced it?
Oh well, first, thank you. I mean, that's nice of you to say
Of course.
that. Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest thing when people ask me about Charlotte and ask what Charlotte's like, and I say it's a soccer city, this and that, but the biggest thing for me is the family feel that I get from the supporters or the people around the city, whether they're big Independence fans or they've been to like maybe 1 or 2 games. They treat me like family, and that just gives me like even more empowerment to go and lead them and lead the city and lead the club. So I think like being a soccer city comes from it being a family environment and like a place where everybody here wants to treat each other like family. And I think the other exciting thing is just how much it grows and it's continuing to grow and it's catching like wildfire. And I think this game just will ignite that even more.
It's a great match. It's like something that we're super excited about, and obviously people in the chat and people listening to the show, like it's taken so long,
Yeah.
and I think that's why it's pretty meaningful for this moment, Clay. But you know, where's your game at the moment? Danny mentioned that you're long in the tooth, if you will. You've been in the city playing the game for a while. Like, how are you feeling? How's the start of the season gone for the Independents? And what do you feel about this opportunity in the U.S. Open Cup, a competition that you've had really nice runs in before?
Yeah, so just from like the team aspect, I think like it was important for us to get back to our identity as a group, being like a gritty group, being able to fight through adversity and get over the hump in tough games. And I think these first 4 or 5 games, however many we played, we've shown that. Obviously, the Cosmos game was a little tough, but the away in Westchester to score in the last minute in the first game of the season, to take care of business in the Open Cup the first round, to upset Charleston in the second round, to beat a top of the table Spokane team 4-0, with injuries, with sickness, this and that. Like we've been able to overcome a lot, and I think that's what we've prided ourselves on getting back to. I think we got away from that in the past couple of seasons. And then me personally, I was a free agent this past offseason, so there was obviously a lot of talk on what I wanted to do. And obviously, you guys probably know, like Charlotte was the real #1 for me all along. But I also knew that I hadn't been my best last year, and I wanted to get back to how I felt before my neck injury. So there was a lot of work that I did physically, mentally, everything, like trying to get back to what I was. And I feel like, and I think the numbers are adding up that I'm back to where I was. So I'm just really excited and really grateful to be feeling the way I'm feeling and have the trust and the confidence of the staff behind me and allowing me to lead this team. And so I'm really looking forward to this year personally and most importantly as a group.
Hey, let me follow up. When you say numbers, like what?
Sorry, I think I lost you for a second.
Yeah, you froze for 1 second, Johnny. Hit that question again.
When you say numbers, when you're talking about data, what are you exactly talking about? You're talking about numbers on the pitch when you're in training. You're talking about how you're feeling physically. What does that exactly mean?
Yeah, so physically, like my muscle mass, because obviously with the injury, I had muscle atrophy. I don't know how to say it, but
Yep,
it
you
just
got
like
it.
You
yeah,
nailed it.
deteriorated my muscles. So getting back that strength and getting back to the percentages that I had before the injury obviously leads to me being faster and hitting numbers that I haven't hit since my neck injury in terms of like the GPS we wear every day.
Yep.
And so, yeah, like all of that stuff, I think it just gives me confidence because I'm feeling a certain way, which is really good. But being able to physically see it is like energizing for me, you know?
For sure. Cool.
Yeah, yeah. I was at the match the other day, the Charlotte FC match, and my girlfriend said, "What? Why is that guy wearing a sports bra?" I said, "That's the tracker. That's the GPS tracker.
Yeah.
That's the thing that tells the coaches whether or not they're doing a good job. You know,
Yeah.
it beats the
We're
eye
in a
test.
shift.
But
We're in a shift.
obviously, physically is something that takes time and effort and everything. And most people, generally there's people can sort of guess what the physical work is going to be when you need a rehab and then taking the rehab to the next level and getting back
Yeah.
to where you were before an injury. But what's different and what might be unique and individual to you is the mental work you mentioned. So what is
Yeah.
the mental work? I'm very interested in what you do to get your mind right. And I've heard stories about, it's no one talks about how the hardest part of rehab is being away from the team and things like that and being sort of in your own head. How did you deal with that and what's been successful for you?
Yeah, so this past November, I hired for the first time like a high performance mental coach. So I work with him once a week, and then I have work throughout the week that I do with him. My call with him is tomorrow at 2. We usually talk before the games, but yeah, it's been like a whole 16-week course, diving into what I want to be like off the field as a husband and father, but also as a captain and like what I want Captain Clay to look like and be like each and every day. And then obviously like the visualizations, the breathing techniques, being able to write out my goals and really get down to the nitty and gritty of, this is how I'm going to reach my goals every day. Like this is what I want it to look like, and just structuring it out that way and ultimately controlling what I can and trying to set my days up to lead to the success that I want to have in the future. So this is the first time that I've ever poured into that, like the mental side of things. Like I think, like you said, that you have the nutrition coaches, you have the strength coaches, you have fitness coaches. And I think this is just now being talked about, but it's been life changing for me. And I think the people closest to me would say the same thing is like, it's completely shifted my mindset and I'm super grateful for it.
It's a great story. It's really cool because it's like it goes to show. It's like, hey, you can get somebody in, get a new coach. There's many different ways to get coached up, ultimately. And
Yeah, for sure.
thinking about the mindset is really cool. Key for checking in the mental aspect of it all is tough. Kudos for sharing and cheers to that.
Yeah, that's something that can speak to our audience, whether you're a high performance athlete or whether you're, out there slinging a 9 to 5, 40 hours a week or 60 hours a week in some cases for some of us. And it applies to all of us.
It does. So in that spirit, I'm thinking back to Wednesday night. I'm hearing all of this, and I'm thinking, man, is Clay going the full 90? Like, is this going to be a full 90 performance? We're going to see it. And I also wanted to
120, yeah.
Yeah.
If we have to go.
Yes.
Yes, I love where your head's at. See, your mind is right, Clay. Your mind has gotten right. You need that
Whatever
mental
it
coach
takes.
is doing good work. Yeah, for sure.
Yes. I'm way in for 120. I'm way in for 120. I think it sounds absolutely phenomenal. I've said on the show, the best part about this is like we can have fun, we can be supporters, we can pull. I've told Danny, I was like, I'm squarely on supporting the independents on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I think it would be an awesome thing for y'all to pull the upset and move on in the U.S. Open Cup. So, man, I wish y'all nothing but the best, and I have no problem saying that on the show because it's been awesome to follow your journey. Huge fan of Mike Jeffries and the way you and he together run the club. So cheers to that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and you mentioned sort of some of the results the team's been having. I pop up the graphic again. Just it's early days in this USL league, but I do like you got one draw, one win, one loss, and your work. I like the goal differential. The 7 goals scored means people that are coming out to American Legion Memorial Stadium are getting a good show. So you're always gonna have fun in an Independence game, no matter what. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. No, I couldn't agree more. And the good thing is we've played one at home so far, and then the next one this Saturday is in Knoxville. But then I think 3 or 4 on the road, and then we have a home stretch. So if we can have a successful April on the road, set ourselves up nice.
A nice May stretch of soccer, independent soccer in Elizabeth sounds phenomenal.
Yeah, exactly.
Sign me up for that.
Exactly. I hope to see you guys there.
Oh yeah. We'll be at a match for sure this spring. It seems like, my perspective, just since we brought it up, Danny, something that got brought up, the match in Elizabeth would be ideal. This match.
Yeah. Like if this Open Cup game could have been at American Legion, it would have been. That's the only way it could have been, even just a little bit better.
It's like one gripe, and that's it.
Yeah, I feel like that would have been like the perfect size and everything.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, it's just the perfect stadium.
Yeah.
In general, it's like what a great place to play.
Tell Dan D'Amico to make it happen next time. I mean, come on.
As soon as this ends, I'll give him a call.
It's great to see you, Clay. Thanks so much for joining the show live. It's awesome to have you here, and we'll be at the match on Wednesday night, and can't wait to see how it turns out.
Sounds good. Well, thanks for having me, guys, and I'll see you on Wednesday night.
Yeah, up the damn Jacks, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
Up the
Let's
Jacks. He's Clay Dimick. He's obviously a soccer citizen. Not only that, Danny, when you've come up with this great, I think, phrase of the soccer citizens here in town, which means citizens need a government positions.
yeah, exactly.
So people do call Brant Bronico the mayor. So Clay has to. I think he's ready for office.
I think he comptroller or maybe COO or something like that. Yeah, no doubt. Clay needs to run for something, whether it's deputy mayor, whether it's city council, whether it's state
city
rep,
manager.
It's city manager, whether you're repping the state rep for the city of Charlotte, out in the legislature making things happen out in Raleigh. Who knows? So yeah,
I can't wait for the match on Wednesday for real though. I think.
It'll be great. It'll be absolutely epic and fantastic, and yeah.
So I have to jump in here and tell you one thing, Danny.
Jump in.
It seems as if there's a little bit of like a quiet confidence when it comes to what happened behind closed doors.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. What was he? He goes, well, it was competitive. It's like, I can't tell you too much, but it was competitive. Of course it was competitive. You think, like, there's a fine line in this league. And, like, earlier, before Clay joined us, I'm thinking to myself, I was sitting here bashing Nashville's B side, their rotated guys. Those guys are professionals, As they say in the college ranks, the other team's on scholarship too. Like these guys get paid to play soccer as well. The Charlotte Independents get paid to play soccer, and Charlotte FC certainly wasn't ready for the B team of Nashville, and they better be ready for Independence if they want to move on in the Cup. And I, to be honest, Johnny, I don't know if they will be. I expect Dean to start. If Dean, I wouldn't be surprised if we're starting a central midfield of two teens that Dean signed that morning and wants to give them their U.S. Open Cup debut. I expect a heavily rotated side from the FC side, and I expect Independence playing to win. So you tell me what you think is going to happen.
Well, it should set up for like a classic midweek Cup night. Like that's the point of the Cup, is for a match like this to set up this way. So yes, I agree with everything that you're saying, and that's why I think it could be a good match.
Yeah, it should be fun, and the best part is the city of Charlotte can't lose. The city of Charlotte can't lose in this case, which the city of Charlotte did lose on Saturday night, unfortunately.
Right, let's go back.
And
that's fine.
yeah, if we want to get back, and John, Charlotte FC's giving up goals like this. I mean, if you want to see, if Charlotte Independents are looking for some game tape, just look for plays like this. I mean, just score from 28 yards out and call it good. This is absolute ridiculousness, and I can't believe that Charlotte FC let Nashville just get all over them for 30, 40 minutes in the first half at home, and Nashville was toying with them.
It's a sweet left-footed strike. It's a really wonder goal here. I think,
from Eddie. Just call this guy his name's Eddie, basically. He's a Norwegian. He's not Hani Mukhtar. His name is not Mukhtar, as far as I'm concerned.
I just think it's at that point you got to hand it to Eddie.
Yeah, you tip your cap.
You got to hand it to Eddie and say, I don't think this is an issue with the Crown. It's just a really nice first time strike. Was there a deflection there?
It looked like slight deflection. Yeah, if you look on this replay, you tell me on this close-up replay. I see a slight direction change sort of halfway through the shot. You tell me. But yeah, it looked like, yeah, you see that?
Oh yeah, deflection for sure.
Yeah. I don't know who that deflection, it might as well have been off. Hopefully it was off Reem, just like, no, it wasn't off Reem. It was off something, but right there, it does seem to deflect. And Kalina gave his effort again. And then the other goal is definitely a deflection from on this Yazbek goal. Yazbek had the assist on the Eddie goal. And that run should never be allowed to happen. The problem is we can talk about, the fortuitousness of Nashville's goals, but the thing is that these chances should never be allowed to happen. This guy's running free in the middle of 4 Charlotte defenders and then gets a shot off and 2 guys are standing in the same place. When we looked at the Eddie goal earlier, we're looking at, look at how Yazbek draws 4 defenders here, and, Vargas is not quite there. On this one, our boy Brant Bronico is trailing the play. Bronny just kind of jogging after Yazbek there, and he had just subbed on, so it wasn't legs. So it's just piss poor play from Charlotte against a team they should have beat. I'm gonna keep hammering that home.
Well, if we're saying there's 2 deflected goals, then I think ultimately maybe Nashville gets a little lucky in this match, and they get 2 deflected goals. They have a screamer from outside the box, and maybe Charlotte really should have gotten a result out of this based on those 2 things. 2 PKs, the Crown in the box, 2 opportunities, 2-2, not out of the question here.
Right. Well, there's butterfly effect.
And I would have taken a draw. You
said that, you said that before the match. And I would have taken a draw too, even against the rotated side. I would have taken a draw, 100%. Shout out Level Up Luke. Shout out Jorge Torres for jumping in the chat. I would have said the same thing, John, that a draw against Nashville would have been good just for their place in the standing. And I just would have given anything other than an effort. I'm looking up at 40 minutes, Johnny, and I'm thinking to myself, we have no shots. At one point, Charlotte FC had no shots on goal whatsoever for like 40 minutes. And then at one point, without a shot on goal having been registered, the Jumbotron just changed to show Charlotte FC had 1 shot on goal. And I think they're like, you know what? We have no shots on goal, so we'll just say that we'll just pretend this Abada cross was a shot on goal. I swear to God, that must have been what they did, just so that it looked like we had one on the jumbo. And this was a great play by the Nashville keeper, Schwake, who is a new starter this year. They used to have Joe Willis, obviously, and now they've started the youngster. And Abada, we can talk about Abada. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Abada in this match and just in the whole situation with Charlotte FC, because this actually would have been a nice cross, and with a little bit better touch there, that's an easy Toklomati tap in on a beautiful cross. But unfortunately, it just drifts a little too much and ended up going off the post. It should have gone in. It was bouncing in, and then he saved it with a hand, like off the post there. That's going in, and he just fortunate to be in right place, right time. But what do you think? I'm calling Liel Abada a crisis of confidence. I know some people don't want to hear that, Johnny, but I'm worried about this guy.
Well, you've been worried about him for months, and a lot of people have been worried about him for months, and I don't think anything has changed. He's had some decent performances so far this year. I think that he's still trying to prove himself, his DP status. I think most national pundits would tell you Liel Abada as a DP is a bad roster thing and decision for Charlotte FC. I think that's what most national pundits would tell you. I don't think you'd have a lot of people standing up for Liel Abada at this moment, and I think he's going to get his opportunity. And the reason why he's going to get his opportunity is because all of a sudden one of the other DPs not going to resign. They're going to come back from the World Cup break, and we're going to be looking around the room saying, who's up next? And it's Liel Abada.
Yeah, well, I'm old enough to remember when the signing of Liel Abada was hailed as a great coup, and Zoran Krenetta's brilliant creativity of striking while the iron was hot to get a player that you never would have been able to get because of some rare circumstances that had seen him fall out of favor at Celtic. And we keep highlighting K-Dog's comments here because he's the biggest, as misspelled as they are, he's the biggest Abada fan that I know, and he doesn't care about a crisis of confidence. I think what you say is true. It's going to come to the point where when Wilf does leave, when Wilfried Zaha inevitably leaves in 6 weeks from now, this countdown is going. I think that Abada does become the next highest. Pep Biel is still the talisman, but Abada is the only other DP on the roster at that point, and he needs to make it happen. So, Level Up Luke chimes in. A Celtic fan himself says he was optimistic as anyone after the signing. We all thought Abada came in with great pedigree and fanfare, but it's time to move on, I think, from him. And I don't know what we could get. We were talking in the chat earlier today. My friend Greg pointed out, or someone pointed out, that it was amazing that Zorn was able to get $4 million for Capetti. Even though that was less than we paid for him, at least we got $4 million back for him, which he's gone. I think he only has about 4 goals in Argentina since he left Charlotte SC. So anything we can get back on return for Abada at this point is good for me. And let's go sign someone else. That's where I'm at on it,
Will be a very exciting transfer window this summer. Like that's really what it comes down to. He's on the market for sure, and Charlotte is going to be shopping Abada. And there's going to be a price that they're willing to accept and potentially move on from him or try to figure out a way to restructure his contract so he's no longer a designated player. MLS is very strange. These roster rules have a serious impact on who is a DP, who is an under-22 initiative, who do you bring in as a hometown player. Like there's these really delicate, I think is a good actually word for it, roster process in MLS that makes these decisions, I think, more difficult than in other places in other leagues. Yeah, in the Premier League, there's like a English player minimum, a United Kingdom player minimum. I don't know exactly what the rule is, but you have to have players, English players, on Premier League teams, on EFL teams. That's a real rule. And that doesn't really impact roster building because that rule has been really dumbed down to like 2 or 3 guys on the team. And in MLS, we're still talking about a 2 DP system, under 22 initiatives, all this shit that no fan cares about at all. So when you're making a roster decision about Liel Abadi, you kind of got to take those things into consideration. Okay, well, he's a DP. What does that mean? Do we need a new roster spot for that? It's way too complicated. In MLS, this is another example of MLS just being very different than many other leagues in the world. And Danny, they don't have to be like every other league in the world, but it seems like the trajectory of the league is that they are trying to become like every other team in the world. So I would expect those rules to change pretty soon, significantly, considering what we've seen now with the league changing its schedule. I think MLS is open to big changes, and I expect these rules to go away in the next 5 years or so.
Totally agree. The rules are esoteric, useless, and limiting. They don't do anything to make the league better. They do multiple things to make the league worse. Seems like a no-brainer to me that they need to change.
Hey, by the way, you mentioned a countdown clock to as far as when Wilfried Zaha is leaving. I found one.
Right now, you are now looking at the countdown clock. 6, 5, 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week left. And I know his loan goes to the end of June, but Charlotte FC's last match was May 24th, I believe. Check me, before the World Cup break. So basically, he's got 5-6 weeks left. I think nothing epitomizes what you were saying, Johnny, more than the call-up of Rodolfo Aloko this past week, which they made him a U22 player, which means Kerwin Vargas, the former U22 player, is bought down to become a TAM player. And to get the TAM, they did a corresponding move of purchasing some TAM from San Jose so there would be enough TAM that Vargas could be a TAM. It's like fucking
Thank
stupid.
You for mentioning TAM,
it is so stupid. It could not be dumber. They could not have come up with a dumber system if they tried. So anyway, Johnny, we're 40 minutes in. Thank God for Clay Dimick for coming in, making this a proper show. We love having players on the show, professional soccer footballers on Soccer City is what it's all about. But it's high time, Johnny. It's far past time. I'm putting it on the screen.
Thank you.
This is where we need to get to. This is the top story. We buried the lead 25 times because this is the top story of the day.
This is Wilfried Zaha's wife, who's now posted on her looks like Instagram feed,
which has been deleted, by the way. This has been deleted. It's a story, but I believe it was prematurely deleted before it expired. That's all I'm going to say.
It is what it is. You can take from this what you'd like. Whether his wife Paige is breaking the news or not, we'll find out because there's still time for that man on the left. Look at him. He looks like he's ready to go to the negotiation table and get a deal done.
I was building this graphic, Johnny, and I was just laughing because I was like, I'm going to set this up. It looks like Zorn is just like looking at the username of who posted this, and it's just like, what the fuck? I mean, meanwhile, Zaha, what a life. What a life. His brand needs to change to what a lake life. He's clearly living it up at the lake, having a good old time. So, yeah, life is beautiful.
Justin, a soccer citizen, checking in the chat and calling you out here.
Justin Kurtz, yeah, we love him.
Yes, we do. But it's a good call out. It's a great call out, Danny, because there was a famous press conference where you asked him a question, and he was kind of like, "Man, you're right. Like that does kind of suck. Like why should like I think you."
You know what? That is a very valid point because it's like. But I don't.
It was a very valid point. You know, he had to think about it for a minute. You know, what can I say?
It's a great clip.
But then Johnny, but here's how I know.
You should wear that as a badge of honor. That's a great.
I mean that and the Dino boring thing. You know, I always will. You know it. I'm always going to talk about it. But hey, listen, it's not about the Instagram post to me. The wife Instagram post is like smoke. Is like noise. You know how they say, where's the signal? Where's the noise? Where's the signal? Where's the noise? The signal was Dino on Thursday at his press conference when he brought it up. Justin Kurtz and everybody can say, oh, Danny, you gave Wilf the idea that MLS officiating, he should leave the league. Dino brought it up. Dino said it himself, and Dino always drops the Easter eggs. Dino never, ever says a goddamn thing by accident. Every single thing he says with a microphone in front of him is targeted, and he is on double levels. If you don't believe that, I can show you the receipts. That can be a side episode. But Dino's always thinking about every single word that comes from his mouth. And he said last week, someone was asking him about, oh, are you fed up with the yellow cards that Wilf got, right? We had that, and I think I deleted it on accident. But I had the quote of where he's like, and he wrapped up his comments and he goes, I don't know, maybe he won't want to stay in this league because of the officiating. And we played it for Ross Smith, remember? The last episode. And Ross Smith was like, oh, Dino with his over-the-top comments. And I was like, no, Dino knows exactly what he's saying. To me, that was the signal, Johnny. Dino saying that on Thursday meant much more than Paige Zaha's post on Sundays.
That makes a lot of sense. And I think those two things together, we're not, listen.
Yeah, and then you put them together, yeah.
Yeah. We wouldn't be having this conversation live on YouTube right now without feeling pretty confident that this is coming down to the wire and could go either way. There's people super close to the situation. Like obviously, you can see what is happening and it's unfolding in real time in front of us. So what we're doing is we're covering it. Brian checks in. If Wilf is gone, I just hope he goes overseas. I just can't see him playing for another MLS club. I don't think I could see him playing. I could see him playing for Miami for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
I think he would look good in that.
He would probably start getting a lot more fouls called against opposing players. Somehow.
Could also see him going out to LA playing for Galaxy.
100%.
Not FC. Galaxy.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Great
LAFC is stacked, but Galaxy needs a winger. Yeah, for sure. No doubt.
I could see him going out there. But those probably the only two landing spots. I'd be shocked if maybe a place like Red Bulls, maybe.
Or NYCFC. I could see NYC. They're fairly stacked up front as well, but
maybe so. Maybe if NYCFC needs like a signing. Well, it's not time for them. I don't know when NYCFC is opening their stadium. Maybe Gislin does.
27 opening.
So maybe Zaha is a signing for the opening of that stadium in 27.
Yeah, who knows? Again, if he leaves, I don't think it'll be because of MLS. I think it'll be because he sees a great opportunity to play in a World Cup. He's a free agent. He's had a pretty good run here. He looks a lot better at the end of 18 months in Charlotte than he did coming from Galatasaray, where he barely played. And so his stock has only gone up in his time in Charlotte. However high you think it is, it's definitely gone up from when he came. So he's thinking, hey, I'm a free agent. Let's go get paid. Let's go get another signing bonus.
We're 45 minutes into the show, and we need to see your perspective from the match, right? We can get into all this. We can talk about Wilf. We can talk about all this stuff. The one thing I haven't seen on tonight's show so far, is kind of where you were, what your vantage point was, and I think it's a perfect time maybe to get into that.
I have the perfect segue, Johnny, because if we're talking about Wilf, if we're talking about Wilf's future, if we're talking about what happens, noted body language expert Danny Brams is here to tell you. I was in the vault on Saturday and I saw Zoran. I shook Zoran's hand, and Zoran looked a little nervous. Zoran looked perturbed. Zoran looked like he had a lot on his mind. Zoran looked like he was not fully focused on enjoying the match and was more concerned about things that might be happening behind the scenes. That's what I can report. I got to say, I was lucky enough, Johnny. I got the call. Anonymous dad, one of the most tremendous friends. All animals are created equal, but some are more equal than others. The Animal Farm mantra. All friends of the show are tremendous, but some are more tremendous than others. And my good friend, who's become a good friend of the show, said, hey, I got extra tickets to the vault. Do you and your girl want to come? We made it down there, had a great old time. And I was able to see, Johnny, the PKs. The PKs from a very good perspective. I'm right here watching Idan take this penalty and missed this penalty, unfortunately. And it was a nice view. I don't know how he doesn't score the rebound, Johnny. I'm mad about the PK. I'm really mad about the rebound.
I mean, can you play that one more time?
Yeah.
I need to see that one more time.
Yeah, there's some shoving going on there at the end of the video. But here's Idan. It doesn't look good. Easy save. I don't know. And then the rebound, just like he shoots it over the goal. What is happening?
Man, I know we all just watched the historic Artemis 2 mission, but my God, that soccer ball went to Mars.
He just launched to the next mission. Artemis had splashdown, and then Idan's sent the soccer ball into orbit, on the rebound just to start the next one.
Holy shit!
Unreal.
That ball is it's just starting to reach
Mm-hmm.
Mars's gravitational force. It's not gonna land on Mars, but there it is. It's gone. It's gonna maneuver on the backside of Mars and whip back down. Look at that. There is some push.
Yeah, I think that's Pep. I think Pep was, or maybe it was Bronny. It was one of the guys. Yeah.
That can't be. I'm sorry. That video cannot be real. That looks AI manipulated.
Yeah, it very much a digital enhancement. That's not what we would call a natural angle of a ball. Like look at this. Okay, you missed the penalty. Okay, we get it, Idan. You missed the penalty. It sucks. We wish you would have scored it, but you have a golden opportunity. All it takes is a slight little tap opposite side of the keeper here. That ball is more than 2 times the height of the goal. That's more than twice the height. It's not just over the goal. It is come on.
Unreal. Unreal. What a moment. Was there another moment there as well? Because you said there was a second Piquet.
Of course, PK. Yeah. Obviously, we got lucky enough that Archie came in to score the next one. And he was all business about it. People were saying, I guess Idan had some antics. I did not see. Apparently, Idan had some antics where he was bouncing the ball in his head just to sort of kill time while he waited for the referee. And people were mad about that. Archie, nothing. I didn't see those alleged antics. Archie, boom. Both guys go left.
Well, that's my analysis here. I have really nothing else to say except for I'm surprised that Archie went to the exact same spot that Toklomati did. The keeper should have just went to the same spot. Maybe that was a mind game. Maybe Archie's paying attention to those sort of things. Yeah. I don't know. But, Archie is a player that keeps popping up.
He keeps popping up. He keeps popping up.
I like this. I like where this Archie storyline is headed, Danny.
I would have I don't know. I don't know what to say. There's definitely a debate brewing, I feel, which is Archie, because Idan is not doing that great. Idan's finally not delivering the results, if you will, that we loved from him after the Ajimong sale. And all of a sudden, it couldn't be more stark than this video clip we're showing right now, which is Idan failing a penalty, then shooting the rebound into Artemis orbit, and then Archie burying one and grabbing the ball and rushing back to the center circle because he knows there's only a few minutes left and trying to get an equalizer. So we love Idan Toklomati. I think all of us, if you could probably check back the archives, I said something like Toklomati is the most important player of the season or something like that. So I'm not shying away from those comments, but I'm saying it was nice to see Archie's fire. And the other thing I want to say, Johnny, and then I want to hear what you think about Archie, obviously, but let me bust one more clip at you, which is just Archie's fire. And this is Archie. We showed his PK, but how about how he earned the PK? Like, look at him just like sprint after that ball and get himself in a position to win a PK and draw a foul from the goaltender. So many times the keeper is going to get the benefit of the doubt there, and it's going to be a foul on the attacker. But in this case, Archie's hustle and drive to get into a good position was just so intense and so indomitable and so inevitable and so unstoppable that he was able to get the foul and get in position where he won the duel and earned the PK and pulled us within a shot where we had a shout with 9 minutes of stoppage time. There was 9 minutes of stoppage time in that match, Johnny. There was plenty of time to go get an equalizer after Archie's PK.
I'm not going to go as far as you just did, which is you're trying to, I think, cause conversation, have conversation, and it's interesting. I am in no way, shape, or form willing to say that Archie Goodwin should be in the starting 11. Now, could he be in the starting 11 on Wednesday against the Independents?
Right.
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely could be, and that's something I think I would enjoy seeing for sure.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think he's almost certain to start against Independence, especially coming off after a goal. We're running a little short on time, Johnny. I could literally stay here all night, but I do want to respect our audience's time, your time. So I want to get to one more talking point, I feel like, which was the debut of Rodolfo Aloko, new winger, guy who, Zaha replacement, some might want to call him. I want to get your thoughts on a guy that, despite a bad night, I think that Rodolfo Aloko provided a little bit of blue skies.
In football, when they give you your chance, you need to grab it. That is good for you, for your family, for who those help you. I'm so happy for this.
Yeah, he's done okay. He's hungry, energetic. He's got qualities that will scare opposition teams because he'll run at people.
Aloko trapped by Lovitz. It's a penalty.
For me, it's just to help my teammates score more goals, assist, to make good skills. MLS now is up in the world, the good championship. I'm so happy to start.
Oh, that was great. That was awesome.
Hey, Mr. Blue Sky. Hey there, Mr. Blue. Everybody loves you. I'm like watching Guardians of the Galaxy 2, watching little baby Groot dance around or something,
Really cool feature. Really great storytelling. I enjoyed that. Thank you for putting that together.
I do what I can. The inspiration is there. But I want to know what you think about Aloko, John, because I know you're the type of guy that you gave Crown Legacy maybe a little bit of your attention in their first year, and now you're like, I just don't quite have the bandwidth for Crown Legacy right now, which I think is perfectly acceptable. I'm in the same camp. But we see these guys coming up. You hear about a guy who scored 6 goals in 4 matches. He comes in on the wing. You hear your superstar DP winger might be on his way out. The whole Pep Biel on the right wing experiment did not work very well in the second half versus Nashville. Liel Abada may or may not be the answer if he gets his head right. We need something there, it feels like, to go the distance this season, to ride them waves. You want to call Rodolfo Aloko a surfboard or what, bro?
Hang 10 for sure. He's like, let's paddle out and ride this wave because he looks super excited to be here. He looks like he wants to learn. He looks like he wants to get better. He looks like he's relishing the opportunity. And as far as Crown Legacy is concerned, this is what Crown Legacy is for. And when you see things like Charlotte FC signs Rodolfo Aloko to a first-team contract. Mm-hmm. That's when you realize what the club does. It has an academy. You can come up through the system, and when you play well, you get your opportunity. And that being the priority over trying to get people to buy tickets to Crown Legacy matches is ultimately what makes a club run smoothly. Is that the matriculation up the ladder into the first team is more important than trying to get people to spend money on an academy program.
Right. I can quote I can give you an anonymous quote from a member of the team staff that I am acquainted with, who once said, "You don't make money on Crown Legacy by selling tickets. You make money on Crown Legacy by selling players." So 100% true. That's what it's all about, and that's why tickets are now free to Crown Legacy matches. They finally they threw in the towel and said, "We're not going to try to charge people anymore." Level Up Luke goes out there to the games, and he knows that they're undefeated, and he says that at least 3 more Legacy players should get first team minutes this year. What do you think about that? Do you think that? Do you think Nimfa Berchimas is the guy, because he scored a brace against Toronto in 5 minutes, scored and then scored again 5 minutes later? Berchimas is a guy that, again, if Aloko's not the answer, is this guy the answer? And the question is Charlotte FC developing young players in the right way by leaving this guy on Legacy after he got his MLS debut last year?
Well, you've already impressed me this evening, and now you've got Crown Legacy highlights all of a sudden on the show. And I'm taking a look at this goal and these goals, and Berchimas for me is somebody that needs to get a look. Can we get our eyes on the player? I mean, we are now. He's playing well for Legacy, and we know he's one of the better players on the pitch there. Let's give him a run for the Crown.
Right. I mean, look, gets the ball in the box, beats one man off the dribble. Lucky to, fortuitous deflection on that one, but it goes in, and then moments later, a nice, a really bad pass here. That's an MLS Next Pro level pass, no doubt. But Charlotte, Crown Legacy punish him. And Berchimas, one touch, fire, score. Not bad.
Look what position he's playing.
Left wing.
Yeah, just keep that in mind.
I mean, this pass is pretty bad from Toronto too. I mean, I'm just gonna say it, but
he had his man picked out. He was just a little bit off as far as accuracy is concerned.
The fact that it's going backwards is at the same time not necessarily speaking well for the next pro level. But Charlotte FC development of young players, I haven't totally seen it. I've seen a little bit of it. Once they get to Dean Smith, I think they're pretty good. Petkovic didn't really develop. Toklomati took the league by storm as soon as he got. The guys who've been really good, Ajimong, Toklomati, Aloko now with the first team, they were the ones who were too good for that level of next pro anyway, obviously, from the jump. So the development, I want to see it. I'm not talking trash, but I would love to see more.
I agree. And I think Kerwin Vargas is still the player that is at the top level, who can still show development as a young player. And guess what? This is going to blow your mind. You know who else is like that? Liel Abada.
Oh, shit.
24-year-old player, super young, still hasn't gotten to 25. What is the next 3 years? I'm not saying that 26 and 27 is young, but it's a really important age as far as being at your prime playing the game.
Yeah. You and Kiefer holding the flame for Liel. I love it.
It's Soccer City. Thank you, everybody, for being here, hanging out live. I've enjoyed seeing you, Danny. A shout out to our special guest, Clay Dimick, the Charlotte Independence captain, and there's Keith checking in. You're welcome. Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm not trying to be right or wrong. I'm just like it's not running away from the fact that Liel Abada is still young. So let's thank you to. Who did you work with over there with the Independence?
Sarah Turner. Sarah Turner holding it down for Independence and Ascent Communications.
Yes.
Ascent, by the way, still undefeated.
Yep.
Since we started bringing some of their, we got another Ascent interview coming up very soon, ahead of their last few games of the season, ahead of their playoff run, and they have not lost since Coach Philip Poole and Ava Cook did a double episode, and then we had Tyler Lucy on a few weeks later. We got more Ascent coverage coming up for sure. They're red hot.
Yeah, you love that. It's a huge. By the way, the Carolina Ascent and the Charlotte Independence, same organization, and they're right in the forefront of the conversation and in the Soccer City courtyard.
Props to you for exactly. Props to you for shouting out the communications team over there because Sarah Turner's doing a great job.
Wednesday night, 7:30, Matthews Sportsplex. It's the round of 32. You got a win in this match on Wednesday gets you to the last 16.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you're playing for a spot in the quarterfinals. That's how U.S. Open Cup is here. It's a huge match on Wednesday night. My official prediction is that the Crown, Charlotte FC, win in extra time.
Yes, 120, baby.
I think Clay. I think it's going to go to extra time. I think there's going to be an extra 30 minutes, and I think that the Crown gets it done. That's my prediction.
Johnny, it's a big week for everybody. There's a lot going on, and the first ever Charlotte Derby is just the cherry on top.
Soccer City. He's Danny Brams. I'm John Hayes. Thanks everybody for being here tonight. It's good to hang out with you all live. For those of you watching on replay, glad you made it this far. Make sure you check out the podcast. You can always listen to the show as well as watch the show. And if you're listening to the show, you can always watch the show as well as listening to the show, whatever you prefer. Thanks for your time tonight, Danny. Thanks for all the work that you put into making this show great. And as always,
For the cup, baby.
Up the Jacks, baby. See you Wednesday night at the Sportsplex.